Okay, with this one I'm going to show you some of the advantages that I've found with the attack position. And first we're going to fire up the old machine here and get it away from the stump. Basically, what I like to kind of do is loosen myself up a little bit on the bike prior to doing any of my exercises. And I also like to loosen the suspension up on the bike that's been sitting overnight or however long. And so I kind of take off kind of easy, and I just kind of ease up the hill here. And we're in the trials enduro position, standing, feet on the pegs, ball of your feet, and monitoring the clutch and front brake with one index finger of each hand. We're just addressing the bars lightly, and we're going down through here at nearly a stop. And what that's doing is it's reestablishing our balance. And now we're going to get a little more speed up, and we're going to allow the suspension to work a bit and allow our knees to flex and everything and begin to absorb the shock of what we're going to be doing. Next, we're going to go over here to this rock and preload the suspension and go up over it in the attack position. And at the beginning of the video I had a little clip there that tells you what the attack position exactly is. We come down here nearly at a standstill before going up over the top and slowly going down the other side. This is so that we can observe the next little portion of what we're going to do. I'm doing that, you know, kind of a simulation in our minds of being in rough country and this sort of thing. Now we're going to do the same thing here. Only this is a little tougher rock. It's a little steeper going up. We come to a complete stop almost, and then give it a squirt and up over the top, managing that clutch and throttle together. We're going to go down through the rocks here and through the sagebrush, most of it hidden, so you've got to use that attack position. Keep the weight off the front end. But at the same time, you need to allow contact with the ground with the front end. You just don't need to put a whole lot of weight on it. Now we're going to idle on down the road here. We're going to make a study of going over a dry creek bed wash. What's happened is the road is washed out down here, and the worst part of it is on the right hand side as we're going down the hill. So we're going to challenge ourselves, and we'll take the worst part of it. We're going to get in the attack position and managing clutch, throttle, and front brake. Steer as straight a course as possible with our foot pegs while maintaining a floating light front end. We've got another patch of that down here, and again it's off to the right, and we're going to go through it in the same position. Get as much weight to the rear as you can, keep that front end floating, and go through it. Now we're going to practice our lock to lock through the roughness here on the side of the road. Make a swing around, and we're going to come back through that same section, only this time we're going to unweight the front end completely and kind of skim across on a straight line. Good practice. Now we've changed into second gear. We're going to go back into first gear here because we can manage our clutch and our throttle better in first gear at this point. Now we're a little faster there, taking it at a little more of an attack. We're maintaining our attack position, making sure that our hands are light on the bars, not gripping. Maintaining our contact with our index fingers. We're going to go back up through some gnarly rock here, and the thing is completely different going the opposite direction that we just came. And we go back up on this rock and just let the front end float over those rocks. Don't try to avoid them, just try to steer as straight as possible course. We go down this hill using our stoppie technique, still standing. Now the advantage of being on the pins is things you can't see, like there's a cow trail right about here, and if we hadn't seen it and we were going faster, there's a good chance of upsetting the apple cart. Up here we come up over the rocks the opposite direction and down the other side. Now I like to use these narrow trails because I practice my foot peg turns. I turn with my weight on the foot peg in the direction that I want to turn, and I counterbalance to the outside of that turn with the rest of my buttocks and my left knee, let's say, on a right hand turn. But I still maintain the weight on the opposite foot peg. And we'll come up here, and we're going to go down another narrow trail, which is very much like the deer trails and whatnot we run up on the mountain, and it's good practice. I don't try to go fast, I just try to go accurately, steering with the pegs, counterbalancing in the opposite direction. So I weight the peg to the left here, and I counterbalance to the right. And if you do this every day, pretty soon you're doing it second nature, and it all becomes much more easy. Now we're starting to get a little fatigued, so we're going to go down here. We'll come to our stoppy position, and then we'll start doing some lock-to-locks. First we'll go up here and we'll jump this little thing and kind of relax out of it a little bit. Then we're going to go ahead and do a lock-to-lock turn here. We just drop the motorcycle over with the weight on the foot peg and counterbalance to the opposite side, staying back because you're on still gnarly terrain. The motorcycle will actually steer itself as long as you're weighting that inside foot peg and your shoulders are parallel to the handlebars. It also helps to look where you're going, but don't look real close to the front wheel. Try to look out there 3 or 4 feet anyway. Only use the handlebars to move it ever so slightly in one direction or another to avoid little obstacles. Now when you come in from your ride, remain standing for as long as you can before coming down and shutting off your machine. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.